So I chose a book about when pets die for this project. It was written by Mr. Rogers, so that's one of the reasons why I chose it, because I grew up watching Rogers' Neighborhood. I really like this book because we learned about in our reading this week that when you help children successfully get through the smaller losses in their life, then it helps set them up for when really bad things do happen. And one of the things the book mentioned was when their pets die. So I like that this book helps teach kids about the concept of death in a way that's less scary than when your loved one dies. It's a little bit long, so I won't read it all, but I really like that it has a lot of pictures. We talked also this week in lecture about how it can help kids when you prep them for scary things with pictures. So like it has pictures of like a vet's office and a vet looking at your animal, and it talks a little bit about how some people choose to bury their pets, and it has pictures of things like that to help those things be a little less scary and foreign. So I really like that. The last reason I really like this book is I feel like with kids sometimes the books get lost in the metaphors. Our lives are strings, or kites, or flowers, and I feel like that can be really hard for a little kid to understand, or kids who maybe have delays and don't quite grasp the concept of these metaphors. And I really like this book because it's very straightforward, it's very factual, you don't get lost in any sort of poetry. So I think this would be an excellent book to use when working with kids because it's very literal. It takes them through all of the steps of having a pet and having fun with your pet, and then sometimes they get sick, and how when things die they don't come back to life. So it's a pretty comprehensive overview of death. But I just really like the fact that you can start your kids off learning about death in a way that's less scary than saying, well, now your family member has a deadly illness and they've never been exposed to anything like that. And I think this is a much more safe way to start them off learning about death.